This year, 51 AD, the ongoing conflict along the Roman frontier in Britannia continues. The Iberians intervene in Armenia, and the king of the Parthian Empire dies. Welcome to the Early Histories, where we will highlight the major events that take place in the Common Era year by year. Last year, we saw Emperor Claudius adopting Nero, religious tensions mounting in Judea, and B of the southern Xiongnu continuing to rack up wins. Kicking off the year with a flurry of action on the island of Britannia. You'll remember back during the initial invasion by the Romans ordered by Emperor Claudius in 43 AD that the king of the Catuvellauni, Caratacus, along with his coalition of other Briton tribes were defeated in battle and retreated towards the Midlands to continue his military action at a later date. He has recently joined forces with the Silures, who inhabit the western part of the island and are one of the defiant tribes resisting Roman advancement. The Roman governor of Britannia, Publius Astorius Scapula, is looking to end this resistance once and for all. He finally catches up to Caratacus on the banks of the river Severn, and reportedly wins a glorious victory, capturing his wife and daughter, although Caratacus himself is able to escape. He flees north and seeks refuge among the Brigantes tribe. The Brigantian queen, Cartamandua, depends on Rome for her political position and does her duty by handing over Caratacus to the Romans in chains. The Briton king and his family are immediately sent to Rome to be displayed in a military triumph in front of Emperor Claudius and the Roman masses. Normally, the captured prisoners would be executed at the end of the triumphal ceremony, but Caratacus delivers a moving speech which persuades Claudius to spare him and his family, allowing them to live free in Rome. Moving to the Caucasus, where turmoil once again erupts in the Roman client kingdom of Armenia. We saw in 35 AD how the Iberians to the north intervened in Armenia, and with the backing of the Romans placed an Iberian prince named Mithridates, also a brother of King Pharasmanes of Iberia, on the throne. He was briefly deposed from 37 to 42 AD, but was made king once again, and is still currently reigning. 16 years later, the stage is set once again for a major intervention in the kingdom. The eldest son of Pharasmanes of Iberia is RHADAMISTUS, known for his ambition, valor, extraordinary strength, size of body, and good looks. Concerned that his son intends to seize the Iberian throne for himself, Pharasmanes devises a plan to redirect his ambition by urging him to march south and claim the Armenian crown from Mithridates. To conduct reconnaissance on his uncle, RHADAMISTUS travels to the court of Mithridates under the guise of being in a feud with his family. With this crucial intelligence, he returns to Iberia to prepare his invasion. At the head of a large army provided to him by his father, RHADAMISTUS suddenly invades, forcing Mithridates to take shelter in the fortress of Gornius. Seeing that his options are limited, Mithridates eventually surrenders to his nephew after RHADAMISTUS promises that he will not harm him either by sword or poison. After his uncle arrives, RHADAMISTUS has him arrested and put into chains, then remembering his promise, has him smothered to death. Mithridates was an ally to Rome, but they decide not to intervene. However, the Roman governor of Cappadocia, Pelagius, invades Armenia and ravages the country. That is where we pause the situation until we catch up on the events in Parthia, where a possible conspiracy is afoot. The hated Gotarzes II, the son of the long-reigning Artabanus II, dies this year after an 11-year reign, wherein he constantly fought hard to keep his position. His death is thought to have been possibly the result of a conspiracy within the rival factions at his court. His immediate successor is the King of Media, who takes the regnal name of Vonones II. In short order, he also dies, leaving his son, Vologases, as the new king of the Parthian Empire. As a prince of the Arsacid dynasty, he should have a solid claim to rule for now, and hopefully for the Parthians return stability to the empire. Without wasting time, he looks to make a name for himself by setting his sights on the turmoil in the unstable Armenian kingdom with its new king, RHADAMISTUS, who is currently attempting to establish his new rule. As the year ends in this part of the world, Vologases assembles a large Parthian army to move into Armenia to extend Parthian influence. Last we heard of Punu, the Chanyu of the northern Xiongnu. He was forced to retreat north across the Gobi Desert along with his supporters in 49 AD. This year, in a heavily weakened position, he sends out envoys to meet with Han officials in the Wu Wei commandery. They are turned away, but Punu is desperate and is not willing to take no for an answer, and plans to continue his pleas to the Han dynasty. In the Imperial Han court itself, Crown Prince Zhuang distinguishes himself as being perceptive. He impresses his father, the now 56-year-old Emperor Guangwu, with his assessments of the Xiongnu, demonstrating that the future of the empire looks to be in the right hands. He is in fact the one who convinced his father to turn away Punu's envoys, making the claim that the northern Xiongnu had only made the proposal to alienate their rival, the southern Xiongnu, from the Han. In the south, the indigenous Ilo people who inhabit the mountainous terrain of the southern border surrender voluntarily to the Han dynasty through a decision by their tribal king. 2,770 households and 17,659 individuals are officially registered by the Han authorities as the year ends with a successful peaceful submission. We will leave this year, 51 AD, with Caucasus being captured by the Romans, RHADAMISTUS taking the Armenian throne, and Vologases becoming the new king of the Parthian Empire. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to be notified when the next iteration of the yearly histories will be released. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next year in 52 AD to continue the fascinating stories of the world of antiquity and cover its major events.